I sorted out these quills this morning and I washed them. And these are the quills we're going to use when I start dyeing them. I think we'll try 2 colors and I'll show you how to dye them. Usually you have one pot like this and a strainer and some paper towels. So we're going to start with the red one, and I'm going to, they're sealed. And these seals are so hard to get off. Okay, got it. All right, I'm going to use half of this Ritz dye, and it's a liquid kind. And you kind of have to measure out what you think is half. And then put about 3/4 of water in here of this pot. And we'll take it to the stove. We're gonna boil this first. So what I'll do is you can use a something to stir it with, and I usually have a little wooden spoon. And because I use this spoon all the time for different colors, it doesn't harm anything. You can wash it off and use it again. Make sure that, because this dye stains, and if it gets on your clothes or somewhere, it's gonna stain and it won't come off. And this is the vinegar, and I usually put like a cap full of vinegar in there. And as soon as it starts boiling, we'll put the quills in there. And there's orange. What color do you think I should do? Red, orange. There's black and yellow.
I like the red or this blue one.
Which one?
The red or the blue one, I think, are really
red
pretty.
And the blue?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's called teal.
Teal.
Yeah. It's supposed to turn turquoise.
Oh, pretty.
But I don't know. Sometimes this liquid is really hard to tell.
Oh, what it actually turns out.
When you use the powder kind, it's better.
Oh, okay.
You get the right color.
Gotcha.
And sometimes you can use, I use cake dye.
Mm.
And these ones are the one I saved. This is orange. This is cake dye.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it from Hobby Lobby. And this one. And this one. This one is, it should turn out to be this color right here.
Mm. That's a pretty color
That's
too.
cake dye.
Gotcha.
So it's different from the Ritz dye.
Mm-hmm. About how long does it usually take to boil? You'll just let it come to a boil, a full one? Okay.
This one here should come to a boil pretty soon because I got it on high.
Mm-hmm. Does the color affect how long it takes to boil?
Yes, you got to keep stirring it.
Okay.
Because if you don't, you're not going to get all the same color. There'll be some light ones and then some dark ones.
Gotcha.
So we have to stir them all the time so they get evenly.
Okay.
And I'm going to only use this much. Since we're going to do 2 colors or 3 colors.
How many do you usually do? I think we told them to get 4 different dyes or 3 or 4. Yeah.
Here's the dye. So, which one?
Yellow.
Yellow? Okay.
And then
this one, and the red. Okay. That's good?
Yeah, I think so. And then for the white ones, you just leave them how they are, right? Yeah. Perfect.
I think this is almost coming to a boil.
Awesome.
Maybe 10, 15 minutes to get it all the right color. So it'll look like this, but you have to keep stirring it to get all the color in, the solid color. I usually use solid colors. I don't use pastels too much because traditional cultural type of work is solid colors, and but pastel is pretty too. You know, I've seen pastel colors, and they're lighter, but I never use them. I just use the dark, solid colors. And I was wondering where my grandmother got all her colors. Because a long time ago when she was teaching me, she had all her colors in a jar. So maybe, and probably Ritz Dye made dye a long time ago too. So maybe that's why she had all those colors. But sometimes she would use choke cherry juice, some bark juice for yellow. Bark, she would boil the bark until it turned that color, and then she would put her quills in there. And strawberries, all kinds of berries you can use. And some of that bark, it's yellow, and some of the berries were yellow. So, but I always thought, also blueberry comes out real pretty too. Now, if you wanted lighter color, like pink, you could go a little further here, maybe get the pink. But they have pink. Ritz has pink. And sometimes you could color the quills. If you leave them in, you'll get the real solid color. But if you let them, don't leave them in too long, you'll start getting a lighter color. So pastel colors, I think what I do is if I want it pastel, I would go so far, let it cook for a little bit. And then you really have to, when it starts getting its color, you'll think that it's the right color. So you have to take a little bit out, like a couple, and rinse them out and see how dark they really are, because when we finish doing this, see, it starts coming to a boil. This. And when this here, when we get the right color, this all takes time. Sometimes if you want the right color, real solid color, you have to wait for like 15 minutes, maybe even longer. Now the black, you have to leave in for a little bit longer because you want to get a solid black. But
so to test the color it is, you just take a few out and rinse them, and then that's the color they'll stay?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But if you take them out too soon and rinse them, you'll find out that they're not the right color you want.
Right.
It all depends on how long you leave them in there, what color you want.
Does the vinegar help the color soak into them? The vinegar? It just helps the color soak in?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The vinegar does. I don't know why. I just seen my grandmother do that. That's
Gotcha.
why I do it. Sometimes some certain colors are hard to get, so you have to experiment. You know, with letting them boil a little longer or a little less. It all depends.
What's your favorite color personally to work with?
Besides the red, yellow, my colors change. Every year I have a different favorite color. But I like them all, because without the different colors in there, it doesn't look right, you know. To me, it seems like if I use one color for the background, then that's the background, and then you add the designs on there with different colors. And then usually I use 5 colors with, whether it's an earring or a bracelet or a necklace, or I do make some ceremonial stuff, lizard, turtle, and I just started to do the dragonfly. Now, when I do that, you have to draw them, and then make a pattern out of them, and then you could use the pattern. And so I've never made a pattern. This lady asked me if I can make her a bear. Well, I've never tried a bear before, so how to draw a bear. I don't know how many times I do that. And one lady wanted a buffalo, and I said, well, I got to draw it out and see if I can really, you know, you have to draw it out. And then you have to cut it out, the pattern, and then put it on the rawhide, and then wrap it. But wrapping to me is easier. It's getting a little better red, darker red. It takes a while.
Yeah.
It's not like it. Sometimes yellow comes out faster in 15 minutes or 20 minutes. The red takes a little longer because you have to get the right color.
Yeah.
And the black, you have to do it for a while. Not too, maybe, if the water, what I do is when I put the water in, I put it on the stove and then I boil it. That way when you pour the quills in there, it's faster.
When it's already boiling?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And the orange comes out real good. It's that the yellow comes out really good. If you want a lighter kind of yellow, then you don't boil it as much.
Okay.
But if you want it darker, like a mustard color,
Yeah.
then you boil it just a little bit longer.
Oh, okay.
Same with the orange. You want to get a deeper color of orange, you boil it for maybe, well, you just have to keep looking at it. And then if you wanted it lighter, but sometimes the orange looks pink.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I don't do that. I try to keep them really separate because sometimes the pink looks orange, and then maybe it's because if you don't have the right lighting.
Oh.
Yeah. If you have a good lighting, then you can tell the difference.
Do you know if the dye stains pots at all or anything like that? Should they use something non-stick specifically, or do you have a preference for that?
For what?
The pot that you do this in?
Yeah, I think this kind is better because if you use just an ordinary pot, it'll stain it.
Oh, right.
Because this stains too.
Oh, okay.
But not as bad. You can wash it off.
Okay.
But the regular pot, it'll stain it really bad.
Good to know, yeah. I was curious.
Okay, this is almost ready. Not quite. You want to take the ones we dyed back to the office? We're gonna, since I showed you this one, this dye process right here. Okay. Make sure you can. Ooh. Okay. Now that's a mess. I usually don't make that much of a mess. And you gotta wash your hands all the time because this will stain, even the stainless steel. So how I get it off is I put Ajax and it rubs off.
Oh, it takes it all off.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
okay, so we're gonna put this jar. I'm gonna go right here so it doesn't stain the, and get some cold water. There'll be some left in here, so you can just now this is a lighter red, so I'm going to have to do them again to make them really. Or do they look real good to you? The red?
Yeah, they definitely look red, but I understand what you mean. If you wanted a deeper one, just do it a second time. That's it.
Because you have to. Okay, what I use is Dawn or just any kind, and put it on here. Rinse them off real good. And wash them off with the dishwashing soap because the ribs dye. There's some chemicals in there, so you want to rinse everything. Yeah, that one looks good. So this one you wash off, so you could use the same pot for the other color. You want to do another color?
No, I think. What do you do with this side? Do you hold on to it? Can you use that again?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
you
awesome.
use it again. And so what I do is pour it back in. And boil it again.
Awesome.
Because I wanted a deeper color.
Mm-hmm. And repeat the process again with just rinsing, washing, and then those are your dyed quills ready to work with. Okay.
Yeah. And take there's and when you separate these colors, see, it's better to work with.
Mm-hmm. Well, those are really pretty.
See. And then I sort them out again because then you get the little tiny ones.
Oh, okay.
And if you get the little tiny ones, you can use them to make designs.
Oh, okay. So you set those ones aside, the small ones. Okay.
Yeah.